Hey, what is going on? Welcome to Beautiful Star Podcast. I am your host, Antoinette. And yes, I am here. Typically I never go live on this particular day, but it's okay, um, it's always great to make room for change. It's always great to do something different. But today I wanted to come on and talk about finding your voice after being silenced. I know a lot of people have definitely been silenced by other people because they do not want you to live in your truth. They do not want you to tell your truth. And also, silence can be incorporated in the choices that you make. Sometimes people don't even want you to move forward in your life, because it's a lot of times, yeah, it's about your voice and you speaking up. I'm not talking about people just randomly going online and telling their business and, letting the story be heard through a gossip perspective, but more so of knowing and acknowledging what someone has done to you that wasn't unjust, but also knowing your story, right? Really understanding your story, growing from your story, and evolving and creating the life that you want, right? Because I'm not over here trying to advocate for everyone to go online and tell their business. That's really not what this is about. Right? Because sometimes you could just have a realization within yourself, right? Because a lot of us, we don't go online and put everything out there, right? If that's what you want to do, hey, so be it, right? But this is not really the message that I'm putting out there, right? It's more so finding your own voice, right? And your own voice, right? It could be through your actions, moving on from a situation. You understand what I'm saying? Like really moving on from a situation, really understanding something on a deeper level so that you can move on, right? Accepting what it has been that you've gone through, right? And getting to a place in your life where you say to yourself like, "Listen, this is not what I want." Right? Because really, ultimately, it's really about choices, right? Because some people really believe that they don't have choices in their life or decisions that they can make. And it's so um, crazy, disheartening how some people manipulated others to make them feel like they don't have a choice, they don't have a voice, they don't they are not able to make decisions, right? And that ultimately they don't have any power. And as difficult as it does sound to really kind of like um uh take into your life, that's a lot of some people's reality. I don't want to say a lot, but that's definitely some people's reality. Let me drink some. hmm I got me some coffee. So hopefully I can get through this. But yeah, so it's just like you do have a choice, you do have a voice, and you do have the ability to move forward, and you do have the ability to create what it is that you want in your own life, regardless, regardless of what anyone else has to say, feel, or anything like that. Right? You have to kind of like really dove and go within yourself and really kind of uh pull that out of yourself, right? Because at the end of the day, like, I could say whatever I want to say, anybody else could say whatever they want to say, but pretty much it's ultimately up to you. But I noticed that people, yes, they'll silence your voice, like your physical voice, your verbal, your verbal voice or whatever, like, and some people try to hinder your actions, just hinder you altogether, like keep you in a box so that you won't move forward because they want to have some type of control over you, right? And this could be, i.e., relationships. This could be family. This could be people that don't like you, but they pretending to be all up in your face, smiley, and all that stuff. It may sound weird, like, cause it sounds kind of weird to me. But even as like I'm 41, I'm gonna be 42 this year. I don't feel no type of way about my age. I'm from the era where it's just like, you know, I don't really give a damn. I really want to say the F word, but they say like, you could lose your YouTube from that or whatever. Or, I might put this on Facebook too, but like, I really don't care. Like, I embrace myself, I accept myself, but we in a society where people try to make you feel some type of way about getting older. Like, if you don't die, you're gonna get older. Well, they say unalive yourself or unalive. If you don't get unalive, I don't understand the difference between unalive and die or dead or kill. Like certain words, I just don't understand that. But okay, they say unalive. If you don't get unalive, then you are just going to get older. You're just going to get older. And to me, I feel like getting older is a beautiful process, especially when you learning and you growing. Like when you learning something new and you're growing, that means that you're acquiring some type of wisdom. Because I don't think all old people has wisdom, because some old people still move through life like they teenagers, move through life like they are in their 20s, and that's a personal choice. That's something that they chose to do, or that's with the level that they are in life, and there's nothing wrong with that. You feel what I'm saying? It's a choice. It's definitely a choice, but sometimes you have the choice to kind of maneuver through life the way that you want to maneuver through it, but not so much of what other people want you to do. So that's why I don't really down people who choose to be what they want to be, because at the end of the day, if that's what makes you feel good, like you in your 60s and you want to move through life like you in your 20s because that was your golden era and that makes you feel good, then hey, so be it. I'm not here to disrupt anybody's life that they chose. Me, I'm trying to get people to find their voice, right? Because at the end of the day, if you found your voice and you of a certain age and that's where you want to be at in life, hey, do you, right? But there's some people out there who kind of like are stuck on what somebody else want them to be, or what somebody else want them to do, or stuck on some traumatic phase in their life. And they don't want you to talk. They don't want you to express yourself. They don't want you to live your life. They don't want you to make choices that's in the best interest for you, right? Because ultimately it's about you making the choices that you want out of your life, right? And that's ultimately, as far as my um like, I've been doing this for so many years. Um my podcast has been active since 2018, a long time, right? And it's just like, what I try to stress to people is just living in your own truth, living your own life, living what it is that you want. There's so many people out there that like to manipulate people to try to get them to do what it is that they want them to do. There's so many people that try to project on other people what it is that they didn't do with their life. So they feel like, oh, once you get of a certain age, or once you are like, if you are a certain gender, or if you are a certain type of demographic or way, yeah, you should be acting like this. And it's just like, yo, absolutely not. Like, I just feel like people should be really doing what it is that they want to do. But as far as your voice, finding your voice after being silent, somebody who tried to kind of break your spirit, who tried to um not only break your spirit, right, but break you down individually, physically, emotionally, someone who kind of tried to destroy your life, everything that you have um, built up um, to this moment, at this moment in life, right? And I know it's some people out there who can really conceive that idea that is someone out there that's trying to really destroy everything that you built, right? I was in a relationship where someone tried to like ultimately destroy everything for the simple fact of being in control, trying to have control. But the most powerful thing that you can do and really snatch your power back is taking back the ability to be in control of your life and the decisions that you made, and ultimately why that person was drawn to you in the first place, right? It's so disheartening when I have clients who kind of like really go back and reflect on who they used to be, right? And reflect on the fact that they had standards, reflect on the fact of, uh, they had control over their life, reflect on the fact that they had goals, reflect on the fact that, they were empowered, but once they were in a certain type of relationship, or once they allow someone else to have significant power over themselves, because it doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship, right? This could be anything, right? Just you know certain individuals that you link up with, whatever the case may be. Like, it's so weird how certain people enter your life, right? People could enter your life through religion. People could enter your life through, just through common things that you are interested in. You understand what I'm saying? Or some people be in your life already, and their mindset shifted because they became a follower of someone else, right? It's just so many different aspects of how people, and sometimes you could be in a relationship with somebody and they just ultimately change, right? Some people grow together and some people grow apart, right? And that's a fact, whether people want to believe it or not. Like, some people grow together and some people grow apart, and because your interests change, and it's just so many aspects of that. But my thing is, why should you alter yourself to accompany someone else, right? To kind of like fall in line with what someone else wants you to be. If you don't want to do that, if you want to do that, then hey, that's your life. Do it. But if you have a feeling like, oh, this ain't right, this ain't what I want to do, this is not how I am, then that's an issue. That's an issue. Why should you alter what it is that you have to bring to the table? Not even to the table. We're not even talking about no table. The no table exists, right? This is how you are, right? But why should someone else have to dictate, your very existence just to be in a presence? That doesn't make sense at all. Even when it comes down to relationships, like if you've been with somebody, they was your high school sweetheart, they was there, through hard times when you was, down and out, right? And I could really relate to this, right? Because that's an aspect or a chapter of my life, right? Um, and you was there for them and stuff like that, then all of a sudden they changed. They wasn't the same person. They wasn't showing up like they were before. You guys definitely stopped growing together. That you know what I'm saying? But because you remember how it was before, then you think it's going to revert back to that, but it's like it's not going to revert back to that. It's just not, right? And even with my experiences, it's just like I had to go through some uh serious things to really realize, like, all right, yeah, this is definitely not what it is, um as far as living in a fantasy, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like if you want someone to be something that they ultimately not, that is fantasizing. Fantasizing, like what's really showing up in your face, right? All right, this is who they are, and they're not going to change, right? This is who they are. So any thought outside of that, even pertaining to how it used to be, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like people norms change, people beliefs change, people standards change, people grow, like people, you know what I'm saying? People change through traumatic situations, right? Or sometimes people change because of their beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so many different factors that can incorporate as to why people change. But if you are in a relationship with somebody and you are feeling sad and you crying a lot and you like, this is not what I want to be in, but I love this person. No, you have to love yourself more than that person. You cannot change nobody. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot change anybody, regardless. Especially when you try to like, yeah, I'm gonna try to believe what this person try to believe, and it's just like, for what? Like, we ain't gonna get none of this time back. I promise you. Like, you could be young. When I was young, I felt like I had all the time in the world. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing. I felt like I had all the time in the world, right? On top of that, I was a procrastinator. I was a definitely a procrastinator. My intuition used to speak to me loud and clear. Like when I tell you loud and clear, like hello. My intuition was like, hello, honey, we are here. There's no reason why you should even be making that decision in life. That's what I'm talking about. Like we should be going. I feel like, oh, I should, you know, let me go right. My intuition be like, hell no, go look left, because you already know. Like it was that kind of situation. Like it was really when I reflect, when I actually spend time with myself and just because it's to me, I feel like it's important to reflect because sometimes, or spend time with yourself, right? And just quiet all the noise. You get to really kind of like listen to yourself and just because sometimes your body will tell you when things are off, like, oh, this ain't right. You shouldn't be, experiencing this or whatever the case may be, right? And as I got older and I kind of reflect on certain things, I'm like, wow, damn, my intuition was speaking to me. But because I was following somebody else, or because I believed in someone else, or because I thought someone else had a better interest than I did for myself, right? But that's only my testimony, right? That's only my experiences. Everyone else has something that they experience. You understand what I'm saying? But as far as, because even like I feel like your intuition could be your voice to guide you where you need to be. And it's like, how could you really listen to yourself when other people are allowed? You allowed, like you made this um you created this part of your life where people are louder than your intuition, or louder than, you know what I'm saying, the voice that you should be actually listening to, that has the best interest for you, you know. And like with myself, I had to really kind of like um tap into that aspect, because you sometimes, you know what I'm saying, like even in real life, right, sometimes you know, you could be kind of like blinded by the shiny and the stuff that looks so pretty, but then on the inside you're like, oh no, this ain't it, this ain't it, right? Sometimes you have to kind of like choose yourself instead of choosing other people, because it's like, oh, they showing you something that's just like fake. Like, you know how people be like, oh, you know, the grass is greener on the other side, but sometimes the grass be fake. Sometimes it's not even no dirt over there. Sometimes it's just fake grass over cement, a sidewalk. You feel me? Like, you know, it's just fake, right? But sometimes people don't really realize that until later in life, right? Because at the end of the day, like sometimes you can't even speak to young people. They don't even want to hear from us older people. Like I feel like I ain't even from 41, right? I don't feel like I'm old. Like you, like if someone would have told me when I was like 21 years old, right, that I was going to get older and I was just going to feel like the regular me. Like I was just going to feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was just going to feel like the regular me. Like, you know, also like with like reading books, like I was feeling like the regular me, but then also acquiring different knowledge and different information by just reading books and taking different courses and opening my mind to different things, right? But like let's say if I never really, none of that other stuff existed, you feel me? And I was just getting older, right? And I just was just, I feel like my regular self. Like, you know, like your body gets older. Like you could tell from pictures, like, oh, okay, I was in my 20s here, and then now I'm like, you know, 40. You could see the significant differences. Some people you be like, oh damn, you 41, but you look like you in your 20s, right? Not saying that necessarily that's not my story, like because when I was 14 people was like, well damn, you look old, like so, but I'm just saying, like as far as the feel, like I still feel like the same regular old me, like real talk, you know, I feel like the same regular old me. um but I'm older, right? And would come, you would think like would come age, will come wisdom, but that's only if you acquire it. That's only if you seek it. That's only, you know what I'm saying? Like you live your life, right? And you go through certain experiences. If you are open to learning through your experiences, then there's room for growth. There's room for growth, right? But if you're not really open to it, it's just like, oh, you getting older, you just want some regular, you just yourself. You know what I'm saying? Then you really ask yourself, like, yeah, time does exist, but then it's just like, if you ain't going nowhere, if you're not moving forward, you're not moving backwards, you just there, then it's just like, you know, you know what I'm saying? You just there, like, and you feel like your regular self. Like, I don't know, like I feel like that's what I feel like when I was younger, you know, because when I was like in my 20s, when I was in my early 20s, like thinking about being 30 was just like the, like when I thought about 30, I was like, God damn, hell no. I just felt like just damn, I felt like I needed to be in a different, physically a different level in life. But looking back, I feel like it's an aspect of your mentality, it's an aspect of your mindset, it's an aspect of a feeling, because ultimately those things will allow you to make different decisions in life. But if you just think in the aspect of like, oh yeah, physically I'm getting older and I just want to be young, right? Because there's people out there that's like, I know this guy, right? I kid you not, like I feel like no, it's men and women. It's just really, it's just this thing about aging, right? So this guy, he was like 40. I met him, like I kid you not. He looked like he's still in his 20s. He looked OD young. He looked old. When I tell you he looked so freaking young, he looked OD young. And it's just, it's scary how young he look. He look OD young. Like just looking at him, right? But as far as his mindset, like, or the things that he kind of views about life, right? Like he lives a very stress-free life, right? A life that he actually um acquired on his own, like as far as like, you know how some certain people try to come in your life and wreak havoc and cause drama and chaos and stuff like that. Like he has like this total non drama chaos, policy, like, you know what I'm saying? He's living his life based off of his terms. And it's quite interesting. It's very quite interesting to see that. Um, but this is really not about aging because there's some people that age and some people that don't age or whatever. There's some people who got certain um uh medical conditions where they super young and they look super old. I don't know what what I'm saying. You have people who look super young and they super old. It's just vice versa. But the thing is living your life according to how you want to live your life, not so much of what is being projected onto you by people who are just insignificant, who don't matter. And even with moving forward in your life, with people who try to silence you because you have the truth, because you're telling the truth and you're not living in a lie in which they want you to live in a lie. That's ultimately what this is about, right? Because some people want you to live in a lie. Some people want you to be, forever dependent on them so that they can have a significant amount of control over you and teaching you, telling you lies, and having you live in a life where you are miserable, where you're not happy. And life really is not about being unhappy and being miserable and being down and allowing people that don't have the best interest for you to have control over your life. What type of living is that? What is that? Right? You have to take your power back. Take your power back. Become empowered. Because it's important that we remember in life, no matter what we go through, no matter what it is that people try to project, or the power that they take, you take your power back, right? And you move forward and you never give up, right? Because ultimately people who want your power want you to give up, want you to throw in the towel. They want you to throw in a towel, right? But don't throw in a towel. Don't stop improving on yourself. And don't stop gaining wisdom in life. It's important that we have a beautiful transformation during this stage of a life. Okay, in order to have a beautiful transformation, we must keep on going and never give up. Never give up, because that's ultimately what people want to happen. They want people to give up. They want people to give up. They want people to throw in the towel. They want you to be dependent on them. They want you to silence your voice. They don't want you to speak your truth. They don't want you to live in your truth. And they don't want you to move forward in life. And some people are giving up because of other people. They want other people want you to give up, right? And some people, they're allowing others to have that much power in their lives that they will value others' opinion over their own. What if someone doesn't like you? Does that mean that you should not like yourself? No, you should choose yourself consistently. Always choose yourself. Don't allow others to have that much power in your life that you silence your own voice. Your voice in your life is important. I honestly believe that your voice can determine which direction your life will go in. You should speak up for yourself. When is it warrant? When it is warrant, especially when you don't agree with something that was said that they don't like you or you don't like. Okay? I honestly believe that there is a lot of our voice and our actions depending on which direction you go in. You ever heard of the term, yet you ever heard of that? Like your actions speak louder than words. Right? Actions is important. Like I said, like you don't have to really, because we in the age where people go online and they tell all their business, right? But speaking up and that type of aspect, like that voice, right? Sometimes your voices speak, your actions speak louder than your voice. Sometimes your actions speak louder, like the actions that you choose, the things that you do. Even people that be quiet and silent, they don't have nothing else to say. They don't have nothing to say. They don't have nothing to say. And not speaking sometimes is speaking loud. Like when you just be like, you know what, I'm not arguing with somebody. The other day, right, I have to be honest, right? I had like a little procedure done and I didn't like the outcome. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to that office, to that medical office, and I'm gonna let it be known. But I'm not gonna be ratchet. I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be like, show out, like curse anybody out type of thing. I'ma just speak calm and let my voice be heard that way, right? Cause I ain't even gonna front, like I'm from um a time period where, people get it popping, like real talk, but I'm not on that type of time. Like I just feel like is I can communicate for a reason and express how I feel. I can advocate for myself, and that's one thing, right? Really advocating for yourself, right? That's definitely important, to be able to advocate for yourself, right? Because it's some people out there that they're not going to be able to advocate for you the way you can advocate for yourself, right? And I advocated for myself. I went there, you know, and I got the situation fixed because I was not going to, I wasn't going to let that slide. Like, no, you're not going to jeopardize anything going on with me. But I definitely addressed the issue, and I had to be on some, I had to turn my ego down because your ego be trying to get it popping. Like I had to be like, you know what? Because I'm not perfect, right? So I know people ain't perfect, right? But I know people will call the cops on you in a second because I'll call the cops on somebody in a second. I don't care. People can say what they want to say. I will have 911 on speed dial. I'm sorry now. Nah, but I definitely I had gotten it rectified, and it was something that the results that I got it from going back and addressing the issue in a respectful manner, and I got the results that I wanted. So that's important to me, right? Because sometimes you can't be, I don't know, you can't be turned up all the time. Like I don't know, like you can't, like it's just, I don't know, like you just can't, like certain aspects depending on the situation, but I don't really see every situation being handled where you are turned up and you on some bad girls club type of vibe. Like I don't see it. Like I see some people being locked up for that. Like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of that stuff, like, once you reach a certain age, it just looks crazy. Like, it looks like, yeah, you need to be locked up or you need to be in a psych ward type of ish. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you young, it's just like, okay, yeah, like a temper tantrum type of ish. But when you reach a certain age, it looks like, yeah, you need to be in a psych ward or you need to be in jail. Like, don't nobody got time for that. I'm sorry. Don't nobody don't nobody got time to be locked up, girl. Don't nobody got time for none of that. Like, absolutely not. Like I'm some people may have different views in reference to that, like how they handle certain things. And it's just like, yeah, sometimes you just gotta be like, all right, let me put you know, my tiny voice on, like, or like, you know, being nasty type of ish, like, yelling and screaming. Like, I mean, there's a time and a place for that, but you know, sometimes you just gotta be like, whatever. Like it's not that deep. Like it's really not. It's really not that deep to get hype over something that is just, you know. Well, it's not really kind of like to get hype over something that's going to get you in jail. Like who wants to be locked up for something that's totally avoidable? Like, come on now. It makes no sense to me in my mind. I don't know how anybody else feel about that. Because depending on certain people's moods, things could escalate very differently or could be perceived as something differently. So it's just like sometimes you just got to be on some, like, use your inner voice to articulate yourself, communicate effectively. But as far as that rowdy stuff and nah, it's like, sometimes it's an aspect of your emotions. Like sometimes your emotions will get you really caught out there. Like, yo, and that's beyond your voice. Like, yeah, you can have your voice, right? But then your emotions, that's something totally different. When you let your emotions like totally override everything, right? When you're not thinking logically or anything like that, it's just sometimes that can really get you in a positions where it's just not helpful, where it's not benefiting you, where it's not, you know, pushing you forward. And it's just like, what's the point of that? Like really, what's the point of that aspect of your life where you just making decisions that is going to get you in a situation where you don't want to be in, if your emotion is the in the front seat driving, You know what I'm saying? Where you just don't even have no type of control over your emotions and how you articulate yourself, and everything is just from 0 to 100. You on 100. Nah. Mm-mm. Sometimes you gotta sit back and just be like, all right, okay, let me address this in a professional manner. You don't have to address it in a way in which things could definitely escalate. That's a fact. Um, you could comment below, let me know what you think as far as that. But that's what I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, I'm on my birthday, I'm gonna be 42. And it's just so funny, like, that damn, life just went by so fast. And like I said, I just feel like the regular me. I just feel like I feel good. Like today when I got up, I felt absolutely great and good spirits. I actually wrote out some things that I have coming this week, some goals I was working on this week, and I wrote out some things that I wanted to complete with some deadlines. So there's a lot of things that are definitely coming up here. Like I always say, like if you guys are not here for me, definitely go to beautifulstartpodcast.com because there's a lot of things on a private sector that is going on. Just like on May 2nd, Friday, May 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There is a live virtual call for $25, and it's called Beautiful Transformation, Understanding Self-Sabotaging and Creating Roadblocks and How to Stop It. So that is what's going on officially. So if you are interested in that, definitely go to beautifulstartpodcast.com, and then click Beautiful Transformation and sign up right now. This live virtual call is only $25, and we are only accepting cash app payments. I am exploring using other methods of payments, but that's what I'm using right now. And it's definitely a limited live virtual call. It's not going to be a big one. It's only a little bit. So if you're interested in that, definitely sign up because before you know it, because you only could do this before the date. On the actual date, I am not accepting anyone. I'm not accepting no more. That's it. It's going to be shut down. After May 1st, that's it. May 1st is actually the last time you'll be able to sign up for this, right? So that's something that I definitely have coming up that's in the works. But today, like I was saying, right, I was writing out some things that are to come, right? It's gonna be coming soon. I don't have a date for those things, and I'm not gonna put out there what exactly it is that I'm going to be doing. But that's what my day was looking like. Um, putting some things into work or whatever. Another thing is, I do have a meditation group. It's called Meaningful Meditation, and it's once a month that we meet up on a Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if you are interested, it's absolutely free. This one don't it's you're not being charged for nothing or whatever. But remember, meditation is good because it calms down the mind. I realize that it's people out there, and even myself, like, I had to kind of like set up a routine where I meditate and calm my thoughts. Because sometimes sometimes, you just have all this mental chatter, and sometimes you gotta get rid of the mental chatter, right? And meditation is very, very good for that. And it's great to do it within a group. right? Especially if this is your first time really kind of meditating, you'll get the gist of it, or um the entry, like the entry level of it, right? And it's absolutely free. Like I said, I do it Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once a month when you sign up for the group for absolutely free. You go to beautifulstartpodcast.com and go to meaningful meditation, and you sign up, and then all the information will be sent out to you. So that's something that is definitely going on in the Beautiful Start podcast world. Like, yeah. That's what's going on. So definitely go to the website and sign up. Like I said, if I'm not going live on here or posting anything on here, definitely go to the website and everything. You'll see what's going on. I want you guys to definitely sign up for these things that are going on. They are definitely informative and definitely that can help you on your process to growth, and definitely your voice. I feel like your voice is definitely incorporated into this, right? Like your voice. Like when you think about the mindsets, the beautiful transformation, right? That has a lot to do with the mindset, right? The beautiful transformation, right? Because a lot of times, with this, right, as far as your mindset, sometimes people be in a mindset of self-sabotaging. They just destroy everything that they have created. And also, like with your voice, like finding your voice. If you don't find your voice, that means someone has definitely silenced you, right? And sometimes it could be viewed as you silencing yourself, or you having this aspect where you're sabotaging yourself. Because at the end of the day, if someone silences your voice, that means that you have to agree to it. That means that you had played a role in it as well. And as far as self-sabotaging, you don't have to sabotage yourself based off of what someone else planned or what someone else wanted you to do, right? With this live virtual call, we will go into those aspects of um those roadblocks that are created in reference to um the self-sabotage. And sometimes um like I was saying, like what's so crazy about this is that when someone try to silence you, they try to completely shut you down. And they trying to shut you down, right? Sometimes you can create certain habits or certain things that works against you in reference to what someone else did, or what you did to yourself too, because ultimately no one can do anything to you without your permission, right? So you're talking about like this self-sabotaging ways. But anyway, with this beautiful transformation, understanding self-sabotaging and creating roadblocks and how to stop it, I will go into full details in reference to that, because it's very important, right? Like to really understand how this is um playing into it, right? How this can really impact your life on so many different levels. So many different levels, right? And then it's tied into your mindset. It's tied into that, right? Because your mindset really dictates what's really going to be happening ultimately when you think about it, right? But getting on beyond that, but I want you guys to understand, right? So to sign up definitely for this is going to be Friday, May 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's for 30 minutes. That's the minimum, 30 minutes, right? And this live virtual call is only $25, only accepting Cash App payments for the moment. Definitely, I want you guys to sign up, but it's definitely going to be a small group of us. It's not going to be a lot. It's not. I promise you. It's not going to be a lot. Like, I'm going to cap it. Like, once I get the certain amount, the small group, that's it. That's it. Now I'm shutting it down. But you got to understand how um when someone tries to silence you, they try to shut you down and try to sabotage everything that you have going on and try to allow you to self-impose that sabotaging. But anyway, definitely sign up for it. Definitely sign up for it. It's definitely is important to be a part of that because it's going to benefit you. Definitely is going to benefit you. But we have a lot of other things that's going on, and I have a lot of things that I am working on, and I want you guys to definitely be a part of it. I'm gonna try my best to come live on this channel, um, or even post videos outside of this, and then also on my website I'm gonna try to put some stuff up on a Beautiful Start podcast. So definitely be a part of it. um you know, because at the end of the day, if I don't go live on this channel or post videos, it's still stuff going on. It's still stuff going on. Go to my website, definitely. Those who are definitely serious about it, um sign up for it. Especially, like, I understand people out there who don't really have the money. Sign up for the things that are free. Listen to the podcast, right? But those people who definitely, have the money and want to take the different live virtual calls or the events or the workshops or do a one-on-one, definitely proceed because it's definitely life changing. That's what it's really all about, really. Altering your life to what you want it to be, and definitely getting a different aspect or acquiring knowledge that you can incorporate into your life that's going to better yourself, because that's ultimately what it's all about. But I thank you so much for being a part of this live. If you have any questions or anything like that, definitely comment below. Like I said, definitely sign up for the meaningful meditation. It's absolutely free. And meditation is definitely something that we could all utilize. And then with the powers of being a part of a group, it's just it's just great. But I thank you so much. All right, peace.